Hello students. Today we are going to learn about two different topics. The first one is hydrides. Another one is hydrogen bonding. So what is hydrides? Hydrides usually we will call it the hydrogen with minus charge. Usually we may study hydrogen with positive charge. Wherever we are studying, when we will call it the hydrogen as a hydride means the hydrogen carrying negative charge. Okay. So when it will carry the negative charge by combining with some other metals or non-metals. So because of that combination, it carries negative charge. So like that, we can get different types of hydrides. The first one is binary hydrides. Binary means bi means two. So two elements together forming hydrides means binary. For example, lithium hydride, sodium hydride. So likewise, made up of two elements becoming one hydride means that is called binary hydrides. Next, we may have tertiary. Tertiary means made up of three elements together forming one hydride means that is called tertiary hydride. So example, lithium boron hydride, lithium sodium, we can write sodium borohydride or lithium aluminum hydride. All are example for tertiary hydrides, right? So we will learn how the hydrides are formed. The metals or non-metals may combine into hydrogen forming hydrides. So we have three types of hydrides. What are the three types of hydrides? One is ionic hydrides. The second one is covalent hydrides. The third one is metallic hydrides. So ionic hydrides, covalent hydrides and metallic hydrides. So ionic compound forming ionic hydrides, covalent compounds forming covalent hydrides, metallic compounds having hydride means that is called metallic hydrides. The ionic hydrides are also called saline hydrides. Covalent hydrides are also called molecular hydrides. The metallic hydrides are also called interstitial hydrides. Now, how the hydrides are formed means hydrogen is bonded with metal or non-metal. So first type ionic hydrides is also called saline. So ionic hydrides forming because of hydrogen with highly electropositive metals like alkali or alkaline earth metals, right? So first ionic hydrides formed because of hydrogen with along with hydrogen who are joining electropositive metals. What are the electropositive metals? Alkali metals, alkali earth metal. We know the first group called alkali metals, second group called alkali earth metals. In that there are exceptional beryllium, magnesium. So the electropositive metals combining with hydrogen by transfer of electron. So how the transfer of electron happens? These metals giving the electron to the hydrogen. Because of donating electron, it carries positive. By accepting, it will carry negative. So by the transfer of electron, which is forming the ionic compound, in the hydrogen having negative charge, that's why we are telling that is a ionic compound with hydride, ionic hydride, right, my dear students? So ionic hydrides are formed because of electron transfer from metal to hydrogen. But we have to see which forming like a salt, okay, which having salt like compound, which forming crystalline salt like compound, which having high melting point, right? And also example for ionic hydride, lithium with hydrogen, it may produce lithium hydride. Calcium with hydrogen will produce calcium hydride. These are the example for ionic hydrides. Next we are going to learn about covalent hydrides. Covalent hydrides also called molecular hydrides. Covalent hydrides also called molecular hydrides. So in that what happens? Sharing of electron between metals, non-metals and hydrogen. First ionic hydrides formed between metals and hydrogen. Here hydrogen with non-metals. Sharing of electron. See, in the first case we have studied metals donating electron, transfer of electron. Here sharing of electron. Non-metal gives one electron, hydrogen gives one electron. So sharing of electron. So in the sharing of electron, which is forming covalent bond. Sharing of electron will form covalent bond. Because of covalent bond, we can call it the compound is covalent compound. So the covalent compound having hydrogen as a hydride means we can tell that is a covalent hydride. Usually they are exist as a discrete, that means separated molecules. So we can call it is a molecular hydride. Okay, so why we are calling that is molecular hydride means they are existing as a molecules, right? The covalent hydride further divided into three based on the electrons, right? So the first one is electron rich hydride, covalent hydride. The second one is electron deficient covalent hydride. The last one is called equal, that means precise electron precise covalent hydride. So covalent hydride based on the electron density further classified into three. One is electron rich, electron deficient, precise. So example for the precise, CH4, then C2H4. Electron deficient means boron hydride, B2H6. Here well-known example, ammonia, water, right? Then covalent hydrides also having that weak interaction. Because of that weak interaction, they are existing as a molecule, right? And also they are, because of molecule, maximum they are existing as a gaseous state, some of them existing as a liquid state also, right? So covalent hydrides, because of sharing of electron between hydrogen and non-metals, further it is divided into three: electron rich, electron deficient, then precise. It's because of less interaction between the molecules, they are existing mostly gaseous, somewhere it is also in the liquid state. The third type of hydride, what's the third type of hydride? Metallic hydride. Metallic hydride also called interstitial. What do you mean interstitial? In between the atoms in the life. For example, this kind of metallic hydride we can prepare by hydrogenation of metals. What do you mean hydrogenation of metals? Addition of hydrogen. Hydrogenation means what? Addition of hydrogen. So hydrogenation in the metals forms metallic hydride. Listen my dear students, metallic hydride, how will you prepare? Hydrogenation of metals. How will you, what do you mean hydrogenation? Addition of hydrogen. So how will you add the hydrogen? Addition with metals. So it may be, for example, addition of hydrogen is called hydrogenation. That process makes metallic hydride. The same way alloy formation. So in the alloys, the hydrogen may be occupied in the interstitial position. What do you mean interstitial position? Voids. Voids means what? See, usually the atom may be arranged like this in the metals or alloys. So in between we have the gaps, that gaps only called voids. In the position anything is occupied means we can say that is occupied in the interstitial position. So metallic hydride can be prepared two ways. One is hydrogenation of a metals. We can add the hydrogen to the metal. The second one is in the alloy, the hydrogen may be occupied in the interstitial position, right? So in this way we can prepare the metallic hydride. And also in the metallic hydride, most of them non-stoichiometric. What do you mean non-stoichiometric? Non-stoichiometric means which is not having the accurate ratio. For example, lithium hydride may have 1.8 to 1.6 to 8 or 0.6 to 0.8. So the hydrogen lithium's ratio is not in the accurate. That's why we are telling non-stoichiometric. Something may be in the stoichiometric metal hydride like zirconium, hafnium, vanadium metals are forming stoichiometric metallic hydrates also, right? So metallic hydrates means metal with hydrogen, right? So it may prepare by two method, hydrogenation of metals or alloys having the interstitial position. Addition of the hydrogens are occupied in the interstitial position like this structure. Then which having two types of based on the ratio of hydrogen and metals. So stoichiometric, non-stoichiometric, okay, which is forming as a metallic compound. So they always be existing in the solid state, okay. So hydrates over. Now we are going to learn about hydrogen bonding. What do you mean hydrogen bonding? Hydrogen having some interaction with the polarized electronegative elements. First, they are given importance of this hydrogen bonding. So hydrogen bonding having the vital role in the DNA and proteins, right? So proteins and DNA, we have the hydrogen bond, okay. So it is very useful in the chemical science as well as in the biological science, okay. So what is hydrogen bond? Hydrogen is bonded with highly electronegative elements like fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen. So hydrogen is bonded with fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen like electronegative elements means the bond becoming polarized bond. So what do you mean polarized bond? If you have HF, hydrogen is bonded with any one of these elements means so the bond not in the charged, okay, which having polarized nature, positive as well as negative. This bond is called polarized bond. See, if there is no charge, that is called non-polar bond. If there is positive, negative charge, that bond is called a polarized bond, right? So in the polarized bond, which have the positive, negative charge, because of this, the hydrogen in the first molecule having some interaction with the other element present in the other molecule. For example, we have one more hydrogen fluoride means it also having the same negative positive charge. So first molecule, second molecule, the hydrogen from the first molecule having some interaction with the second molecular element present with a negative charge. Okay, this interaction only called hydrogen bond. It is denoted with dotted lines, not in the solid line like this. Okay, the covalent bond only mentioned with solid line. The hydrogen bond should be mentioned with the dotted lines. Okay, so the dotted lines having hydrogen bond, or it indicates hydrogen bond, that is nothing but some interaction between the hydrogen and electronegative elements. Okay, not within the molecule or different molecule. Okay, so the hydrogen of first molecule having interaction with the electronegative element of the second molecule. Okay, so based on that we have to classify the hydrogen bond into two categories. One is intermolecular hydrogen bond. The second one is intramolecular hydrogen bond. So what do you mean inter? Between the molecule. Between the molecule. This is example for intermolecular hydrogen bond. This is one molecule, this is another molecule. Between these two molecules we have the hydrogen bond interaction. That's why we can call it intermolecular hydrogen bond. In case within one molecule, within means we have only one molecule. In that one side we have the hydrogen, another side we have the high electron negative element. Between we have the interaction, means hydrogen bond present, means we can tell that is a intramolecular hydrogen bond. Okay, now the interaction value may be 20 to 50 kilojoule mole inverse. The average or the range of a hydrogen interaction 20 to 50 kilojoule mole inverse, right? Apart from that, this hydrogen bond or this interaction between this polarized element and hydrogen makes different properties, or it influence in the different properties. What are the properties? Like melting point, boiling point, vapor density, then heat of vaporization, then density, miscibility. Miscibility means solubility. So likewise surface tension. All the properties are influenced because of this hydrogen bond. It may be inter or intra, that is not a problem. Hydrogen bonds influence with this all the properties, right? So now we are going to learn about intermolecular hydrogen bond and intramolecular hydrogen bond. Okay, see, first intra means within the molecule. So within the molecule means we will take only one molecule. For example, ortho nitrophenol. So phenol means benzene with OH is called a phenol. So we can write OH. Ortho nitrophenol means nitro group, NO2 group. So here we have the oxygen and oxygen, right? Here the oxygen having the negative charge, hydrogen having the positive charge. So because of that there is a interaction, dotted line. This is called the intramolecular hydrogen bond, because within one molecule, what's the name of the compound? Ortho nitrophenol, right? Then second example for intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Salicylaldehyde. Salicylic acid or salicylaldehyde, both will form intramolecular hydrogen bond. Here also this oxygen having the negative charge, this hydrogen having the positive charge. Because of this polarized nature, there is a interaction between this oxygen and hydrogen. That is also example for intramolecular hydrogen bond, right? Now the examples for intermolecular hydrogen bond. Inter means between the molecule. Okay, so one molecule like water, you take water, another water. Between the water we have the interaction that is called a intermolecular hydrogen bond between two different molecules. See how they are interacting. It may between the water or it may between the ammonia or it may like molecules or unlike molecules. For example, we can see this is nothing but water H2O. So which have a negative, positive. Both hydrogen will have positive charge. The same way we can write another water molecule, negative, positive, positive. So there is an interaction. So the hydrogen bond may be formed between same type of molecule, water, or different, ammonia, NH3, another NH. So in that, if you see nitrogen having negative, hydrogens are having positive. Nitrogen having negative, positive. You may ask what is this symbol? Delta, that means partially negative, partially positive. There is an interaction between this negative and positive, nitrogen and hydrogen. So these are the example for intermolecular hydrogen bond. Okay. So it may have one water molecule, another nitrogen also. See, one water molecule I will write, then another nitrogen also. Now, 1 minute, hydrogen. See, nitrogen having negative, oxygen having negative, hydrogen having positive, hydrogen having positive. Now we have the interaction between this positive and negative hydrogen and oxygen, right? So these are the examples for intermolecular hydrogen bond, right? So here we have to know in the water, separately if you take water, which is forming three-dimensional structure. How they are forming three-dimensional structure? Each water molecule bonding with other four water molecule. For example, if you take one water molecule which having two lone pair electron, because of this reason, which can form four hydrogen bond with four other molecules. For how you write one more water molecule. Here also we can write one more water molecule, right? Then you can write one more water molecule, or see the middle one we have taken as a initial water molecule. See, because of this oxygen negative charge, it may have interaction with this hydrogen. The same way another hydrogen. So now one water molecule bonded with two different water molecule. Then here also negative charge, negative charge. So positive charge, positive charge. So here also another one interaction. Now you see the middle one, we can say A. The water molecule A is connected with B, C, D, E. Four different water molecule. It can able to form the three-dimensional structure. Okay, because of this reason, right? We are going to learn about water and ice. Density of ice is lesser than that of water. Why? This question you may expect in the exam. Okay, so because of this three-dimensional arrangement, right? Because of this intermolecular hydrogen bond, one water molecule can form bond with four different water molecules. Okay, right? Now we can find the difference between water and ice. Which one is denser? Water. Which one is less denser? Ice. Why? Water. Water having more density than ice. But ice in the solid state. Okay. Because in the water having long range hydrogen bond. Long range means it may have long range water molecule. That means n number of water molecule one by one it can join. Okay, but in case of water, it have short range. Short range only it can form because of this different. Wherever we have the long range, it will form weak hydrogen bond. Wherever we have the short range, it will form strong hydrogen bond. Okay, long range. Sorry, the long range will form the strong hydrogen bond. Then weak short range will form weak hydrogen bond. Because of that reason, ice will form open structure, right? Open structure means it has some hollow space or some empty space inside. But in the water, continuously they are bonded, they are together present. Because of this reason, ice having less density, water having more density, right? Again, I am repeating, water having long range, ice having shorter range. Because of this reason, ice is connected together with a hollow sphere or with some gap between the molecules, but water there is together. So water having high density than ice. Okay, then finally uses of this hydrogen bond is important because the starting itself I told which is used in DNA and proteins. Okay, so we may know that DNA structure. How do you write the DNA structure? You may see like this, right? Okay, so in between this we have some structure or some bond. This bond is nothing but hydrogen bond, right? So in the DNA, if you see the helical structure, okay, what is the expansion of a DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid, okay. So in that, if you see in the book itself, they are given. I will show it. See, like this ring structure. Between this helical, we have the bond that is nothing but hydrogen bond, okay, and also which is present in the proteins. So hydrogen bond over. Remaining, we will start new lesson from the next video. Thank you.